Chapter 17, the scene of the crime. You take a deep breath, glancing at your companions. Then you step inside of the room you've been searching for since you found the murder weapon. This is where Nick was killed? Just some conference room? A long table runs down the center of the room between gleaming white walls, but a series of shelves hold small trinkets and art pieces. All the trinkets on the shelves don't exactly match the minimalistic decor, but they've been arranged as part of Nick's game. And that must be where our murder weapon came from. You point to an alcove at an elbow height. There's a gap between a vase and a picture frame, just the right size for the statuette of Lady Luck. This really is it, the spot where it all happened. It feels messed up. A place for Nick to go out. He always hated the business part of his job. What a terribly boring place to die. I'm not sure there's such a thing as a good one, but I can think of a better places than this. You rest a hand on the conference table, chest aching at the thought of your friend spending his last moments alone in here with the killer. Why would the killer pick this spot out of everywhere in the house? Because it's kind of a perfect murder room. It hurts to admit it, but as you glance around imagining you're staging a scene in one of your books, you can see the logic. It's isolated. It's a quiet wing on the second floor, interior room, which means no windows, fewer witnesses, and if you're having confidential business meetings, what's the one thing you don't want? Eavesdroppers. You nod and rap the nearest wall with your hand. The laminate chimes slightly, but the sound is muffled beyond this room. The walls are insulated, so if anyone tried to call for help, odds are no one would hear them. God, poor Nick. Not a lot of absorbent surfaces here either. If you had to pick a room to mop up blood in, the only easier spot would be a bathroom. I hate how much sense that makes. The only question is, who was in here with Nick? Who haven't we conclusively ruled out? Well, I'm Crystal's alibi, and Madani's alibi is, well, the obvious one. Liz knew about Nick giving the money away. Angelina was having an affair, but the two of them were together when Nick was killed. So we're down to two possibilities. Pete and Steve, if you believe their alibis. You begin to pace around the table, tentatively staging the scene in your mind's eye. Let's just say it's the night of the party. You're Pete. You come in here to confront Nick about whoosh, presumably. Now playing as Pete. You pace in the conference room, fist balled at your sides until the door finally opens. If this is a work thing, Pete, can I wait until tomorrow? I was halfway into my costume for the... No, it can wait. You're... wasting our life's work. My life's work was never supposed to be a giant pile of cash, Pete. It was just to be more than that. He says from here within his third multi-million-dollar mansion. What did you buy that with, Nick? You know what? You're right. The house is part of the problem. That's why it needs to go, just like everything else. Go? What do you mean, go? I'm giving it all up, Pete. The house, my title, my seat on the board, every zero in my goddamn bank account. And what? I don't get it. Anything? Not a cent for everything I've done for for all these years? I literally pay your salary, Pete. But that's not enough, you owe me! Rage surges through your veins, and before you know it, your fist is closing around something. Moving on, pure adrenaline. You swing. You didn't walk up to him at all? Question mark? You just did this across the room? Every time you do that, I'm impressed and horrified. I don't think I'd sleep, much less if I could picture any person I met like that. I go a lot of nights without sleep, don't at me. Yeah, I don't usually sleep much. Yeah, no, see? The motive seems a little fuzzy, though. Liz told us Pete and Nick had a disagreement about whoosh, but if Pete wasn't the one in here... You step up to the door, picturing it swinging and open to reveal a different figure. Nick, there you are. I need to get the party started soon, but your text sounded urgent. What's going on? Funny you should ask. You know how you said if I ever was in trouble, I could come to you? I'm sorry, Steve, but I don't think I can help. I haven't even told you what I need help with. I'm sure it's the usual, an investment or big next idea, but I'm getting out of the game, buddy. What do you mean? Oh, like, you're taking a sabbatical, or... I'm giving my fortune away, all of it. It's time I stopped hoarding it and gave it to the people who deserve it. What do you mean, deserve it? Who deserves it more than me? You can't do this! The righteous indignation of your scorn floods through you, and you reach for the closest thing you can find a statuette. You heft it in your hand. I won't let you! Well, I can see it. It could be either of them. I vote for Steve. I hated his scene more. I actually hated Pete's more. This isn't a voting situation. They both had motive and opportunity. We just have to figure out who did what. Let's split up, search the room for any signs of struggle, stray bloods, any details the killer missed. Remember, there's no such thing as a perfect murder. Especially in Steve's case, have you met the man? Especially not when the killer only had half an hour to do the deed, clean up, and move the body. Being hasty makes people sloppy. Well, then let's make sure we find something before the others realize Finn isn't in Nick's office. We don't have much time. The four of you begin searching the room from top to bottom. I met with Nick in here before. Everything looks the same except for the shelves. I don't know where he put all the usual stuff. It's probably stashed in one of the million storage closets downstairs. Come on, Finn, think. If I were a killer planning to make a move in here, what would I plan for? What would I overlook? I'll search the table for any hidden compartments, examine the objects on the shelves, examine the wall cabinets. I'm gonna go with wall cabinets. You join John by a tiny cabinet on the far wall. Inside are mostly paper, pins, but John pulls out a remote. This is supposed to turn on the projectors, but he presses the power button, and nothing happens. Let me take a look. John passes the remote to you, and when he does, a piece of the cover falls off, exposing a dented circuit board. Okay, I don't think it was designed to look that broken. Definitely not. I wonder if something happened to it on the night of the murder. Investigate the remote to gain more insight into Nick's final moments. Diamond choice. Open up the remote. You pop open what's left of the remote case, and the pieces nearly fall out into your hands. This is a mess. Everything's all rattled around inside like it got thrown. What, like someone rage quit a Zoom call? I got a better theory. John kneels beside one of the walls, running his hands over something. It's a dent here. It's hard to see with all this corporate white, but what do you think could have been from? You hold up the remote to the indentation, and it slots right in. Well done, it's a perfect match. A chill runs through you as your mind suddenly connects the dots. John, Dante, remember when we looked at Nick's body for signs of a struggle? How could I forget? I checked under his nails to see if there was any tissue from the killer, signs that he'd been fought back. There was nothing there. But what if he didn't defend himself with his bare hands? The scene plays out in your mind's eye as vividly as it were playing out in real time. Now, playing as Nick. Ugh. The blow to your head took you by surprise. You never expected this from a friend, or maybe, more tragically, you did. But you didn't expect it to happen like this. You clutch the side of your head as the hot blood trickles down your skull, rounding on your attacker. Give up, Nick. It's over. No. This isn't how. You try to stagger towards the door, but your knees nearly give out. Grab the nearest shelf to keep yourself upright as the whole room spins. No, I'm afraid this is how it ends. Your vision wavers in and out of focus, blurring the features of your one-time friend and soon-to-be murderer. But as they stalk toward you, hefting your custom-made Lady Luck statue for another blow, your hand brushes cold plastic. So he used it and blocked? ? I'm sorry it had to be this way, but no, it didn't. You curl your fingers around the remote on the shelf and toss it at them. I'll fumble it, fling it. and not like it matters. The filling the remote with all the strength in your rapidly weakening body, and it connects. Some part of you is grimly satisfied to hear their cry of pain, but as the remote bounces off their ribs and ricochets off the nearest wall with a thud, they still stagger towards you. Now you're really pissed me off. They heft the already bloodied statue in one hand, raise it over your head. You try to grab it, try to stop them, but your body won't listen. You feel your knees give out. You sink to the floor, your vision is getting dark around the edges. Wait. Please. Just tell me why. Why? Does that matter? It's all that matters. I always tried my best to do what was right, but... So, what was it? Where did I go wrong? Sorry, Nick Gallion, but for once... You're not getting what you want. How does it feel? The last thing you see is the Lady Luck statue coming down towards you again. Talk about bad luck. After that, there is only darkness. You just had to throw in the bad luck pun. You cradle the remote in your hands. If Nick threw this, that means he had time to fight back. He could have hurt the killer with a remote in the ribs. Oh, God. In the head. I could have gone for head. I could have gone, okay, they hit him in the eye or something. Anything. Come on. Not badly, or they might not have killed him. Right. But Finn's got a point. A lot of us are banged up, but Steve and Pete haven't been part of the action. If one of them is hurt, then they probably are our killer. And we should hurt them a lot more. You won't do it. I have to say, though, I'm a little proud that our boy fought back. With a remote. Me too. We didn't exactly cover remote controls as improvised weapon when I was teaching him self-defense, but you use what you've got. I just wish it would have worked. I'm sorry, Nick, I know you tried. With a remote. Carefully set the remote back into its cabinet and turn towards the rest of the room. Let's see what else we can find. Come on, mystery writer. Hit us with some of those crime tourisms. What do killers always forget? Or truisms, excuse me. Well, they usually return to the scene of the crime, but given that we're all been stuck in the house, they haven't had a chance to go far. You start to pace the length of the room, racking your brain for every trope you can think of. It's usually something simple that gets killers caught. They don't clean their shoes, or the investigators never look up. Dante John, you're the tallest. Can you get on the conference table and check the ceiling? Roger that. They both hop up onto the table, John scouring one end of the ceiling, while Dante searches the other. Within moments, he lets out a soft curse. Holy. We've got blood spatter. Dante, how much? Not a ton. Looks like a few drops. It tracks with non-arterial spray pattern. Not much of it would have been able to get that high. Glance up where Dante is pointing, and then at the pristine surroundings. So, if that's where the blood landed, Nick must have been somewhere around here. You walk around the table to plant yourself beside it. You shiver a little, not from the cool air in the room. This is the last place Nick stood before he died. But as you run your hand over the spotless table and the spotless walls, glancing down at the equally spotless floor, something feels wrong. The math doesn't make sense. What do you mean? How could the killer have murdered Nick, dragged the body up to his bedroom, staged the fall, cleaned up the house in a half an hour? Well, they did miss the blood on the ceiling. That's just it. If the wound was bad enough to splatter on the ceiling, the head wound bleeds a lot. There must have been blood everywhere. Close your eyes and try to picture the aftermath. Well, especially with him laying on the floor, like, you're gonna bleed out. It's going to pool. Nick's body lies sprawled near the doorway. There's blood on the walls, on the conference table. It's gushing out onto the floor. And standing over him, grimacing, is... Ugh, what a mess. Or maybe... I have to get the body out of here. Maybe. Whoever it was found a sheet to wrap the body in, grabbed some cleaning supplies on the way back. Thank God he never put an accent rug in here, but... Ugh, crap, more blood just keeps spilling all over the floor. How the hell do I get rid of all of it in time? Unless there's a whirring in the distance, one you've heard off and on your whole time here. You remember the invention that Nick built his fortune on. Missing piece falls right into place. That's it. I'll make a mess. Shout whoosh. I'm gonna shout whoosh. Whoosh! Fan, are you okay? No, it doesn't exactly feel like the best time to... Just trust me. Suddenly you hear a familiar electric hum outside. You open the door to find Whoosh comes trundling down the hallway and into the room. That's the noise you're making now. If you get blood all over the floor, you wouldn't have to clean it up yourself. You just need help from these guys. Yeah, but what about the wall? Oh my god. They've been all over the house this whole time. I doubt this one was an accomplice to murder, though. He looks like a couple O's short of a full Whoosh. You give the Whoosh a closer look, and Farah is right. Instead of navigating neatly around the table, it keeps bumping into the legs. What's up with you? You pick up the Whoosh, turn it over to find that its cleaning tray is not only empty, it's still wrapped in plastic. That's what's tripping it up. This Whoosh is factory fresh. It's never cleaned anything. I'm not even sure this is the latest model. I've seen a Whoosh clean the corridor dozens of times. That means there's a Whoosh hidden somewhere with the evidence. I think that the Whoosh that helped our killer clean, they wrapped or swapped it out for this one and hid the first. And they wouldn't do that unless they were worried it had some evidence in it. Bingo. We have to find the Whoosh that was in this room. You turn towards the door, but Farah catches you by the arm. Finn, wait. You're still supposed to be locked in Nick's office, remember? Not running around chasing vacuums? Farah's right. If any of the others spot you, they'll make sure the whole house knows. What, all four of them? I don't exactly have a choice. We need to find the missing Whoosh. I'm not suggesting that you sit on the bench, just that we do this stealthily. I swear if you suggest an outfit change with a hat, I'm throwing something. My room's not far, and I think I can cobble together something a little less chic and more sleek, and help you stick to the shadows. Oh, it's just missing a hat. You briefly duck into Farah's bathroom to change into the outfit she suggested, and slip back out to rejoin your friends. How do I look? Sharp. He gives you an admiring grin. I wore something like that in a Tony Scott movie once. I have to say, though, it looks better on you. The darker color scheme was a good call. This should make it easier to get by the others. John allows himself to look at you up and down, smiling. Though if they don't ever get to see you in this, it's their loss. You're welcome, by the way. Thank you, Farah. And you're welcome for the diamonds. She gives you a wink. Anything for my favorite detective? Now, let's find the adorable vacuum that has an unwitting accomplice in our friend's murder. Stealth and speed are of the essence, so you all slip through the halls in search of a nearby Whooshes. You'll quickly find one hidden around a nearby corner, backed into a small charging port. What are you hiding? You open it to peer inside the cleaning tray. Nothing unusual here, just dust. Let's keep moving. Sweep this floor room by room. You all move methodically, splitting up to check every door you pass. No Whoosh in here. Found this one with some kind of pedestal. I don't know what Crystal was doing it, but it's got nothing but dust bunnies inside. Doesn't look too happy, though. Yeah, you poor thing. Get me my shotgun. It has to be put out of its misery. Maybe she was searching it for parts. She decided to move on from biohacking into becoming a cyborg. Either way, it isn't the droid we're looking for. I feel like they really, wrote this whole section just for that line. When you see one on the move, whirring down the hallway without a care in their little robot chassis. Someone catch that thing. You chase after it as it approaches an intersection, when you hear voices coming up the hall right towards you. It's okay, you're wearing black, just stick on the wall. I know Finn is a murderer, but somehow the thought of her being locked up still makes me sad. You gotta learn to trust evidence, Liz. It's not worth the risk of anyone getting close to that psycho. Crap, they're coming right this way. Time to see if dark leathers really do make you stealthier. I can't. This book went from good to just comedy. You scoop the whoosh up with one hand as you run. Look around the nearest source for cover. I'll duck in the shadowy alcove, diving in the nearest room. Listen, I'm still at least trying to take this shit serious. Diving in the nearest room. You quietly tug open a door and slip inside. And easily leap over the back of the couch to hide out of sight, while the whoosh still clutched in your hands. Okay, confirmed, dark leathers don't teach you parkour, but they make sure you think you know parkour. Outside, you hear Steve and Liz's footsteps approaching, and then continue past your hiding place. Yeah, but what if she's claustrophobic? Then it's just cruel. Once their voices fade, you heave a sigh of relief and step back onto the hall. Your allies quickly rejoin you. Nice moves. Have you ever considered a career in art theft? Right now, I'm more interested in robot theft. You hold up the prize. Dante tugs its cleaning compartment open. There's only dust and tiny fragments of cleaning residue inside. No golden ticket this time. Let's keep looking. You scour the rest of nearby rooms as best as you can, but there are no more whooshes in sight. Nick has all other prototypes in the foyer. Let's check there. You all manage to make it downstairs undetected, but as you approach the foyer, you'll hear voices up ahead. Maybe we should have gone with Angelina. I'm not sure how long... of course it's occupied. And then we're gonna need a distraction. Why is it you are the only one who can collect a whoosh? Check the little pocket on your thigh. Really? You reach into the pocket of your thigh and pull out 2 little plastic balls. I swear to God if they're smoke bombs. Oh my God. Oh! The left one makes noise, the other smoke. Just twist and throw. You know what? Why? I can't take it. You aim down the hall towards the kitchen, twist and throw as Farah suggested, and the smoke begins billowing out of the doorway. I'll sell this. You all keep going. While you, Farah, and John duck into a nearby room, Dante heads into the smoke, coughing and sputtering just before Pete and Crystal emerge from the foyer. What's going on? Sorry, that's my bad. I can mix drinks all day, but can't literally cook toast. Everybody just head over to the West Wing while I open some windows. Jeez, Dante, I know things are bad, but let's not burn the whole place down bad. Once we're all out of sight, you wave the others onward and make a beeline into the foyer. I'll keep an eye on the exits, you two get to work. You and Farah approach a charging station, hooked up in the corner where 2 whooshes sit. You crack open the first one and find only stray hairs and bits of tissue paper. Looks like this one was just in someone's bathroom. This isn't it. Farah plops the second one open effortlessly. It's a pair of diamond cufflinks in it, but not much else. Ooh, mine had a prize inside. I get to keep these things, right? Farah. Depends on who they belong to. What if they're Nick's? Angelina might want them. Fair, but she won't find them in here. Farah tucks the cufflinks into a hidden pocket in her skirt. I'll make sure they show up in her room later. Spot another whoosh on a pedestal, a prototype you saw the first day you arrived here, but unlike that day... Hang on, this one looks different than I remember. It looks sad. Its emotions are probably, you know, depending on how full or whatnot it is. You lift it from the pedestal to crack it open the cleaning tray, and... oh god. Inside the whoosh is stained with blood. It streaked like someone tried to clean it, but didn't have time to finish. So basically it probably has fingerprints in it. I'm just saying. Or on it. The blood has long since dried, but it's not all that's in there. It's wedged so deep inside the vacuum mechanism that you almost miss it, but... something stuck in the pipes. Is that a bullet pin? You pry it out, swipe off the dried blood to find letters engraved on one side. MIT. Looks like an alumni pin? Isn't that where Steve said he went to college? If his pin is in here, then... Steve's the killer. Hang on, I hear footsteps. We have to get... John spins around towards one of the nearby hallways as two figures emerge. Crystal and Angelina stare at you, and the blood-streaked whoosh. Finn! Is that blood inside the whoosh? Who cares about the whoosh? Everybody get in here, Finn is loose! This was intended, Crystal. It was all intended, and that's why this chapter was super effing short. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And in the description, plenty of things to check out, ways to support, and whatnot. Hey, look, it was less than 30 minutes. That was with all the diamond choices, with all the choices selected, me, you know, not speed reading, literally just reading it normally. Yeah, I don't know what really to say. Like, I'm just gonna say the following. Listen, this was an okay book. Out of all the books that right now Pixelberry has right now, this was one of the good ones. And the reason why I say that is kind of like a murder mystery or something that was kind of like fun and whatnot with learning the characters, and then, you know, the whole you get to play out the murder mystery Nick set aside, and we at least still got to do that for like one chapter. Not even that, but at least we tried, and it's just... This was really bad, okay? And when I look back at it, it was okay. Like, if you were to give it a 1 to 10 scale, I would have said it was 5 throughout most of those. You know, at moments, maybe a 6. And then this chapter just drops it down to like a 3. The reason why I say that is because, one, the remote hit someone's ribs. Like, how exactly you're going to show that, right? Like, I could go take a Wii controller, right? For the Switch controller, excuse me. Well, I mean, Wii too, they're about the same. And I could go chuck it at someone, okay? If I chuck it in their chest, stomach, ribs, wherever, it's not going to do any damage. However, if I chuck it at their face, it might have scratched them, it might have, like, hit their eye, caused a little twitch, like something that you could have, throughout this book, signified as like, hey, what's up with your eye? Oh, it's nothing, just stress of this whole thing. Or, you know, something, anything. And then it could have just, bam, puzzle piece. Oh, Nick hit someone. He hit him with the remote. He hit him in the face. Steve's, you know, eye's been twitching. Look, there's this pen that is for MIT. Something, anything, right? Like, we don't know where everybody went to college either, so let's not automatically assume Steve. I'm just saying, but, like, you know, I'm just saying. Right? At this point, still up in the air, but it's getting really bad. Like, at least we had a mystery, and then not really. And hey, look, if it is Steve, I stuck the right person in the room, while everyone else was like, Dante or Crystal. No, I'm just gonna chuck Dante out there and go, no, I don't think it's Dante at all. I'm just gonna give you that one right there. I don't think it's Jun. I don't think it's Farah. I don't think it's Dante. Okay, I really, I think if it is, that's really a hard sell. Not really something that would shock me, but it's a hard sell for me, right? Those are people that are off the list. Clearly Madani's dead. Clearly Nick is dead. So everyone's like, well, this is something that Nick's going to come out at the end and go be like, surprise! No. Because the problem is, you know, they've been in a freezer for like, what, a week now? So, there was a hidden compartment inside the freezer. Nick and Madani were in on it. And I don't know. How would you fake her being stabbed? And then she's bled out and she's cold and all that. So yeah, no. But aside from that, this is just, it got really bad this chapter, right? And nothing has been really taken serious even since Nick, let alone Madani's death. Like, nothing, it just seems like a comedy at this point. It seems like a comedy. I don't even know if that's a thing, where there's like a really serious thing, right? Like, even Scream had the two guys, right? And the one was kind of like comedic relief, but everyone looked at him every time he like made a really bad joke, and everyone was like, really, dude? Yeah, no, that literally and figuratively, like, it had a better film than this whole book. Like, I'm just saying. Like, it's just, it's a murder slash comedy, and it's mainly comedy, and it's really bad. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I don't know what to tell you. Let me know in the comment section below. Yeah, on to the next chapters. Bye.